Hi everyone, welcome to our virtual Youth Opportunities Group session today with Youth Promise Plus. My name is Abdul. Sorry, we're just observing 1 minute silence for the exact, obviously with the COVID-19 being 1 year today. So I'm hoping you guys are keeping safe. We've got a packed event today. I know it's for an hour, but I can assure you it'll go very quickly because we've got a few colleagues and partners on board who will be discussing what we have to offer through this one. Well, obviously through Youth Promise Plus, we've got so much to offer under this one umbrella. So please do stick around with us. And I'll go through a few bit of etiquette at the beginning before we start the actual event. So if you can, obviously, we want to keep this interactive, right? The first and foremost, with these events, I've seen if you guys have a question as we're presenting, you're more than welcome to just touch on the screen, and it should give you an option for a speech bubble where you can, write your questions, or if there's any thought process that you have that how we can improve these events going forward, you can also add that on there as well. My colleague Sadi will be monitoring this, so please do interact with us through the text options. Okay, so Tara, if you can put the slides on for us, please. Excellent. So this is the actual schedule for today. So first and foremost, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do on Youth Promise Plus. Then, tell you a bit about Birmingham City Council and Solihull, what we do, especially on Birmingham City Council, like myself. We work on the Work Ready team with anyone who is looking specifically just to go into work because they are job ready. So we'll tell you a bit more in a few seconds. Thirdly, obviously, we've got a Kickstart program that's running. I'm sure a lot of you guys, especially if you're up to the age of 24, you might know about this if you're claiming universal credit. So we've got Alison from GWP Job Centre who will tell you a bit more about this. And we will also tell you what we have to offer through the Birmingham City Council Adult Education Services as well. So there's some great opportunities coming up. There's a little bit about the NHS Learning Hub. If you want to go into frontline clinical work, we will tell you a bit more about this. And we've got Better Pathways. We've got Letitia who will come on to tell you about anyone who might be experiencing anxiety issues or depression or any sort of mental health aspect. We've got a great program running alongside what we do on Youth Promise Plus. We've got Princess Trust. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what they have to offer, but again, Saab will tell you a bit more about the actual program they run with Princess Trust. And we've got Digital Innovators. Last but not least, seriously, they've got some great programs running, and we've got lots of guys that have come on board in the past who've gone on with Digital Innovators and been successful in the accreditation that they have to offer through the programs that they run. And as I mentioned, please, write in to us using the text box. If we can't answer them through the actual presentation that we're going to do today, we will try our best to answer them at the end of the event. Right, just quickly, a bit of a tour about MS Teams or Microsoft Teams. A lot of you guys who may not know how to use it. So as I mentioned, if you got a phone or a tablet, you can tap anywhere on the screen. It will give you an option with a speech bubble on the right-hand side, and you click on that, and it'll give you an option, just like WhatsApp or any other messaging service, to write on there. If you've got a laptop, just hover your cursor around the middle of the screen, and it will give you the option in the middle to be able to interact with us using the speech bubbles as well. The next slide for me, please, Tara. Right, guys, as always, classroom etiquette comes onto this event as well. As I mentioned, my colleague Sadia will be monitoring this. I know you might not have the audio option here, but please keep the text clean and appropriate for our event today. If there is anything on there that is not suitable for this, obviously Sadia will check this before it gets published, and you will be dismissed from this event. Thank you, Tara. The other quick mention as well, if you are having any technical difficulties, you need to log out and come back in, you're more than welcome to do so. Just click on the link again. Otherwise, you can email us at yog@birmingham.gov.uk, or even come through our website, which is www.birmingham.gov.uk/YPP sign up. So as I say, if you need to leave early, you can always get in touch with us through this, or if you are finding it difficult to interact with us directly using a speech bubble, send us an email or even get on our website. Thank you, Tara. Okay, so before we move on to our Youth Promise Plus, I just thought, obviously, I'll introduce Alison to you from Kickstart, who will tell you a bit more about what they have to offer. Because a lot of you guys, I'm sure you've joined us today because you just want to work, all right? If you want training, I'll continue straight after this. So Alison, are you there?
I am. Thank you, Abdul. Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to have the chance to talk to you this morning. My name's Alison. I work for the Department for Work and Pensions in the Employer and Partnership team, and I'm currently working on Kickstart. Kickstart is a 6-month paid job with a local employer, which is funded by the government. It provides fully funded opportunities for yourselves to get experience of working for an employer. You might have heard some details about Kickstart over the last few months, and if you have, you'll know that it was announced by Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, last summer. It's expected that the Kickstart programme, is going to offer thousands of job opportunities over the next year. And to show their commitment to Kickstart, the government have set aside a £2 billion pot of money to fully fund these positions with businesses and employers across the UK. Jobs from Kickstart are open to young people between the ages of 16 to 24 who are claiming universal credit and could be at risk of long-term unemployment. So a little bit of information for you on how it works. Employers who want to take part in Kickstart share the details of their job opportunities with us at the Job Centre, and the work coaches in the Job Centre then match their customers to these opportunities. They'll do this either in work search review appointments, which could be on the phone and hopefully, face to face in the coming months. And they will also send the details to candidates through the journal. These candidates would then need to apply for the Kickstart opportunities, and if successful, would be invited by the employer for a job interview. So it's going to be like a proper recruitment process. The employer would then select who they want to take on. The government will fund the job opportunities for 6 months at the national minimum wage for 25 hours a week, and they'll also pay the associated employer national insurance contributions and any other employer minimum automatic enrolment contributions that are due. What we hope is that having the job opportunity is going to give young people some really valuable paid working experience, in addition to building on confidence and skills, which will make it possible to move young people into work when the 6 months comes to an end. If during the 6 months you find long-term work, young people find long-term work with another employer, so they get another job offer while they're on the scheme, we'd see this as a great outcome, as hopefully it will have played its part in moving young people forward to something more permanent. Whilst on the scheme, the employer, or what we call a Kickstart Gateway organisation, would also provide some ongoing support to young people, for example, a mentoring support. Anyone that's interested in a job opportunity through the Kickstart scheme will need to make sure they've got a really great CV ready to go, as the employer will want to see this. So it's really important, if you're interested, that you make sure that your CV is great and it's good to go. If you haven't already, I'd recommend that you get someone to cast a critical eye over your CV. After all, in many ways, your CV is going to be your passport into work, and there might be some small changes that you could make which could better show your skills off and your abilities and demonstrate previous experience in a more positive way. You can also get your work coach in the Job Centre to help you with this, and any of the organisations involved today in the Youth Promise Plus. Additionally, you could contact the National Careers Service, and you can do this either online or by visiting nationalcareers.service.gov.uk, or by booking a consultation by phoning them on 0121 296 5550 or 0800 100 900. I'm just going to repeat those details again. I really think they're worth it. So for help with your CV, you can contact the National Careers Service, and you can do this online by visiting nationalcareers.service.gov.uk, or by booking a consultation by phoning them, and the phone number is 0121 296 5550 or 0800 100 900. You can also find out more about the Kickstart scheme on gov.uk or at the job help site. I can see that the slide's just been put up, and you'll be able to see some good promotional material on here, including links to a couple of videos on there. So you just Google gov.uk, put Kickstart in the search box, or Google job help, which is one word, and look at the section on help for under 25s. So just a little recap, give you some key points again about Kickstart. A 6-month paid job opportunity for 16 to 24-year-olds, which the government is providing the funding for. You access the job opportunities if you're claiming universal credit, and you can be referred to them through your work coach, who will talk to you about a vast range of Kickstart opportunities available and send the details through to you on your online journal. You then need to go away and apply for the opportunities. Usually it's by sending a CV into an email address, and you know, if they like the look of what they see on the CV, employers are going to invite you to attend an interview. It's also worth mentioning that you can apply for more than one at a time. The first 6-month cohort started in November 2020, and it's expected that the scheme is going to run until the summer of 2022. So the last 6-month cohort will start in November of this year. In other words, if you haven't had the opportunity before, you know, you've got some chances now to get involved. If you need to get your CV ready, I've given you some signposting of where you can get some help with that, and also the details of the National Careers Service who can help. We've had a massive amount of interest from employers who are really eager to take on young people into these vast range of great opportunities, and we're really excited about it. It's such a fantastic opportunity. We don't very often have, well, I've never known a time when we've got such a fantastic opportunity for young people. So keep contact with your work coach, look out for the opportunities, and don't miss out on the chance to find something. That's all from me today. I'll pass back to you, Abdul, if that's okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys, so like I've just mentioned, obviously, you know, with Kickstart being a very big program for all the youngsters, especially if you've recently come out of a job due to the pandemic. So obviously, thank you, Alison, again. We have got 1 or 2 questions that have come through. Again, we will address it as we go along. If we can. Someone did ask, are we going to be forwarding these slides on to you guys? So again, you know, if you want these slides, please send us an email and we can send it to you. But the other aspect as well, we've got the YouTube link available, so you can always catch up on this session if you think you missed something from this. So please, yeah, so email us and as I said, we can try sending these slides out to you as well. So, and another question, it does mention on the are these jobs going to become permanent? Well, like I said, it's 25 hours Kickstart program and it's 6 months position, but it all depends on you and the employer, depending on how hard you work and if they're impressed. Obviously, it's something you can negotiate, but you know, there's always programs like Youth Promise Plus, which will continue to support you as well. Right, Tara, if you can go to the next slide for me, please. Thank you. Just wanted to mention, just leading on from what Alison had to say with the great offer that GWP has to offer through the Job Centre. Again, we as a Birmingham Adult Education Services, Birmingham City Council, we've just done one of our first training really to do with digital marketing. There were various job positions, and I know I've been told recently as well, there's another short program that's going to run on 29th of March. So, you know, get in touch with us. So we've got some great programs running to get you ready for some of these jobs that are out there with Kickstart. So as I said, with Birmingham Adult Education Services, we are delivering programs in March. I've just quickly put on there digital marketing. So if you are interested in going into programs with the administrative aspect of digital marketing, we've got some positions for you. And again, with the last program, the feedback was we had some employers come on board to talk to the guys that joined us directly to, you know, tell them what they're looking for, the interview that they went for, as well as feedback. So, you know, it's a great training program for you to come on board and possibly get yourself that experience through this 6 months placement. The other opportunities that are coming up with Birmingham Adult Education Services is green sector opportunities. Now, what I've been told, I'm just going to read it to you guys as well. There is the sustainable transport jobs that will be coming up, as well as some construction jobs. Now, this is more outdoor when you say construction, obviously to do with parks and other green spaces. So seriously, if you guys do not like being in an office where you don't want to be stuck in one place, these are some great opportunities that are seriously going to be coming up soon through Birmingham City Council Adult Education Services. So please get in touch with us, especially I know, you've got weather conditions that have come across, but in the summer, those great days, you want to be out there, obviously working in the heat, hopefully with good weather. So these are great opportunities that are coming up. So, talk to us. Right, in May, we have health and social care, customer services, and also in September, we've got a few other opportunities to do with construction. So I thought I'll just quickly touch on these programs, but look, there'll be other opportunities that will be coming up with Kickstart. We are building on that little portfolio of things that are coming through, and there will be a survey coming straight after this as well. So please complete that for us and tell us what you want. And maybe, going forward, we can design these programs, these training programs for Kickstart that will cater for your needs as well. Thank you, Tara. As I quickly touched on earlier, we work as a work ready team in Birmingham City Council, and there are vacancies that are coming through thick and fast. So if you don't want the Kickstart program and you want to just go into a job, which ideally is permanent, especially during pandemic time at this current moment, HS2, we're working closely with HS2 with all their partners that are out there working with the small projects or even the large projects of, for example, like Balfour Beatty Vinci, which is doing all the construction civil engineering projects that are happening within the Midlands. So again, their vacancies are advertised through HS2 website. So they've got this one hub now. Now, I just wanted to mention these vacancies that have come up. The fencing vacancies, they require specific CSCS cards. As you can see, there's 15 positions on the very first one, and the second was 6 positions required, and the last one, which is the 1 position for fencing supervisory role. So if you think you've got some experience within that sort of aspect, please get in touch with us. And if you feel as though, these jobs are closing in May, so we've still got some time to get you trained up, to get your CSCS card. So there is a few partners that are working with us, including Southend City College as well. The last one there, rail traineeship. This is through Intertrain. They're based in Nechells, but at this current moment, a lot of this is virtual. So don't worry, if you feel as though you're anxious of going out there, we can provide you with training, which is going to be virtually based from an environment where you're comfortable with. So traineeship for anyone between the age of 19. The only reason of 19, it's got to be over 18, purely because of the fact that you'll be working on railway sites, and it's to do with obviously the health and safety aspects of it as well. So this is starting in April, so there's plenty of time for us to get you enough information if you need more information what I'm giving you today, or even if you want to register or talk to someone directly, please get in touch with us. Thank you, Tara. Okay, now I know I wanted to give you, the real aspect of what we do on Youth Promise Plus before I go on to tell you what is Youth Promise Plus. So Youth Promise Plus, as I've mentioned, it is funded by European Social Fund. We have several partners on board, and today, as I've mentioned already, we have Prince's Trust, Better Pathways, UHB, which is the University Hospital Hub, and there's many others like Solihull Council as well. So if you've got something about yourself, you feel your job ready, we will help you directly to tweak that little bit of your CV if you need to. If you need a bit of interview techniques sort of session, or even just job search, we can do that for you from Birmingham City Council. But then if you feel as though you need that bit of extra support, we've got other partners on board who will help you with that. Right, travel and other offering. Very quickly, I wanted to say, I've mentioned Solihull Council already. They will help with anyone living in Birmingham area who are on Youth Promise Plus with independent travel training, as well as people living over in North Solihull, which is Chelmsley Wood and Solihull itself. I'll introduce the guys to you in a little while. We have also several training programs running as well to build your confidence. And if you feel as though you need a bit more coaching and mentoring, we will do a bespoke action plan with yourself, set specific, and measurable targets, which we know we'll have to review after a few weeks. And if we obviously then we can continue with saying, if you need to change those barriers, you're more than welcome to do so. For example, you may come with one aspiration at this current moment, but by the time we get to the end of addressing those barriers, you might change your mind. Again, listen, we will talk and we will speak to you one-to-one basis, on a one-to-one basis, and obviously see what's best for you. Right, training and work experience, I've just mentioned quickly, there's so many training programs available, and this will be bespoke to yourself, again, depending on the vacancies, or depending on your aspiration. And I've mentioned already, we do have apprenticeship programs, not just Kickstart programs, but there is apprenticeship traineeship as well. Right, CVs, jobs, well, that's our actual forte here. We can help you to improve on your CV and do those job search for you as well. And gaining in skills and qualifications, what can I say? This is the right place for you right now. Our partners will talk to you as well on how they can support you gain those skills or qualification that you require. Thank you, Tara. Very quickly, I know, obviously everyone is aware, like we've just done a minute silence for COVID-19 victims. Staying safe is something paramount for us to make sure that you guys are safe, making sure that we, even if we had to come out to see you, we do the risk analysis. We will obviously do the social distancing aspect as well. Now, interviews, if you look on the bottom right hand side of the slide today, just like you joined us today, a lot of the employers are doing virtual interviews. We will help you to prepare for this. Obviously, you still need to dress smart. If you're going to sit in front of a camera, you still need to speak in a professional manner and address the guys that are on the other side. Sometimes it could be one person. Sometimes, as you can see from the picture, it could be 3 or 4 people. But look, if you're worried and anxious about those things, we will prepare you for this. And as I've already mentioned about travel, we can assist you in getting ready for that. We have scratch cards or day savers, for buses around Birmingham or Solihull, which we can, post to yourself or arrange a meeting, as I've said, with risk analysis in place to get those over to yourself. Thank you, Tara. Right, Solihull Council, as I've just mentioned, do the independent travel training. So I just wanted to quickly mention and introduce the guys to yourself. Sorry, it's the next slide. Sorry, Tara. So we've got Amber, Anna, Vicky, Sarah. The reason I put these guys on there because we don't deliver the independent travel training from Birmingham Youth Promise Plus, but these guys will help our clients from Birmingham well, at this current moment, it will be virtually, but normally it would be a case where they will come and meet you. They will take you out on a bus and give you the full route tour. Okay, thank you, Tara. Again, just in case we lose you due to bad connection or whatever it is, or whatever reason that might be, you can get in touch with us at yog@birmingham.gov.uk or www.birmingham.gov.uk/sign up. So I don't see many messages coming up. So if you guys can, like I said to you, please put those questions through now, and we will see if we can answer them as we go along, or we'll do it at the end. I'm aware, I think Peter may have some technical difficulty coming on. Peter, are you there at all? Right. Well, he hasn't joined us, but I'll just quickly go through this with you. If you guys are interested in the NHS jobs, which is clinical roles, frontline especially, these are with the Learning Hub. They're mainly based around the Selly Oak area with the University Hospital, but they also deliver these programs from Heartland Hospital as well over in Bordesley Green. So don't think, if you were interested in some of these jobs, you have to go all the way to the other end of town. If you live like myself, on this side of town, and again, we can arrange that for you. We've got Peter, which we can email on your behalf, and he can get in touch with yourself, and see how we can work with you on a one-to-one basis. If you're interested in any clinical roles, these guys, not only do they provide basic, training for yourself, but they also can put you in a work placement in a hospital if you're interested in these. I know you can't see majority of the writing on this. I just put this on there because this was a flyer that Peter sent out via email to myself. So again, if you require a bit more information, I can send this flyer out to you as an attachment on an email. So please do email us and we'll send this out to you as well. Thank you, Tara. Right, just so you can get a break from me, I've got Letitia from Better Pathways, who will tell you a bit more about how they can support you if you've got mental health concerns, or if you want to query about mental health, if you were to come on board with Youth Promise Plus. Letitia, are you there?
I'm here. Thanks so much, Abdul.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, I'm Letitia and I'm here to just explain a little bit about the services that we offer here at Better Pathways. So I'll start off by introducing the team. So as you can see, there is Shanice, there is Monique, there's myself, and then we've got Steve, who's our senior personal mental health champion. So just to share a little bit about us, and we're all equally as passionate about mental health. I'm passionate about making the conversation common about mental health amongst young people, as I feel like it's a bit of a taboo subject, and therefore a lot of people end up suffering in silence regarding their mental health. So I am just really passionate about making that conversation something that's very common and very relaxed. Shanice is passionate about helping young people to establish new self-help techniques to support their mental health. Monique's passionate about enhancing the emotional stability of young people, and Steve is passionate about supporting young people to make positive changes in their lives. Next slide, please. So the sort of things that we offer support with, so you'd benefit from receiving support from us if you're somebody that has problems sleeping. So what we do is we offer support around just your sleep hygiene and just creating routines and sharing ways that would benefit you to get a proper night's sleep. We also do travel training. So if you're somebody that's not really familiar with getting around, traveling on public transport, and you might have like some concerns surrounding that, relating to just anxious thoughts and feelings about public transport, then we can definitely offer support around that. Also, if you're someone that experiences anxiety, such as like racing thoughts or, just unwanted thoughts and worry that you get consumed by, then we also do support with that. We do support with, confidence building, and, for people that lack self-esteem, we do a lot of workshops surrounding just building that confidence with people that don't seem to have it. We work from home just like a lot of people at the moment, so all of this will be like online learning that we do. So if there's anything that you kind of feel that you'd like to have some more knowledge on, that could even be understanding anxiety, understanding depression and things like that, then we're here to just shed light on these subjects, and again just making that conversation common, making sure that you understand these things inside out so that you can be prepared with ways to also deal with these things as well. We also do things like mindfulness, so like activities such as meditations and trying to just establish coping strategies for all the things that we've listed above. And again, there's low mood. So if you're someone that finds yourself just consistently in a low mood with no motivation, you kind of, we're in a pandemic at the moment, so a lot of people are just stuck in the house and doing nothing. But it's also about just making the most of what we do have and what we can do. You're still able to get out the house, you're still able to go for walks, you're still able to, make the most of getting fresh air and things like that, because they're so important and when it comes to our mental health. So yeah, next slide, please. So here just kind of explains the journey of somebody that is receiving support from us. So initially what will happen is a client profile will be completed, and so will a mental health journey tracker. Then the specialized one-to-one support will begin, and we will start to create a personalized wellbeing action plan. So this is kind of where we establish what sort of support you want, and we also establish the ways that are going to suit you best to sort of work towards those goals. One thing that I really want to mention is that with this support, we work the way that is the best for you. So we're not going to come up with these things every week that you must do and you have to do this. It's always a question of how would you like to do this? What are you comfortable with? But at the same time, if you've got comfortable with, just being in the house and not really doing much, we'll just find that balance of, working with you, but also trying to push you out of that comfort zone a little bit, but guided with our support. So we'll do like regular check-ins around your wellbeing support. So the young person's wellbeing is improved. So when it gets to this point where the wellbeing's improved, and we'll then help you to feel confident for the next steps that you might be taking. So this might be when you've got into employment or training. We'll sort of make sure that you're equipped with all these tools and strategies that you've learned, and you feel comfortable then to go into the next stage of your life. And then number 5, so the young person's well-being has improved and we're aiming for them to feel confident for their next steps. So yeah, again, it's just making sure that, you know, once we've worked through this personalized well-being action plan, that you do feel confident. And we might have worked through everything that's listed, and then you might say to us, actually, I feel like I want to go back to, you know, the first thing that we've got on that list there, because I felt like it was really helpful, but I'd like to learn a little bit more. And again, we can do that. You know, it's not something that we just follow each step and then it comes to an end. We want you to get the most out of this, and that's exactly what we'll help you to do. Next slide, please. So initially, when you first start to get this support, we'll have a Freeway meeting. So the intervention worker will take the lead on this Freeway meeting with someone from my team, which is a personal mental health champion. So themselves and the young person. So during this meeting, the personal mental health champion will complete the referral form directly with the young person. That's changed a little bit now, but it doesn't really apply to you much. So this is just to kind of outline that in the initial Freeway meeting, it's just a nice way for all of us to kind of have an introduction with each other, as you know, you'll be a lot more familiar with your intervention worker, so you're not just, you know, in a conversation with someone that you completely don't know. And then it's just about us getting a little bit familiar, and then after that, then we'll begin our sessions and start to slowly get to know each other a little bit more. And I think that might be it from me. Okay, yeah, so if you, okay, yeah, yeah, sorry. So yeah, if you did want to get in touch, then the email that's on the screen, so yog@birmingham.gov.uk, you can send your, you know, you can express the fact that you feel you would benefit from this support to that email address. So thank you.
Thank you, Letitia. Right. Oh, that's a great sort of opportunity for those guys, seriously. So as I've just mentioned quickly before I pass you on to Saab from Prince's Trust, if you guys feel as though, you know, you can't talk to ourselves, I can always get Letitia or her colleagues to contact you guys on a one-to-one basis. There's one on there stating, look, can they come for appointment face-to-face? Well, hopefully going forward, you know, depends on what the or obviously our Prime Minister has to say. I think in June everything is opening up, so we're not sure yet what's going to happen, but I'm sure you can bring some of your family member, one of your family member, in your case that you said, look, can I bring my mom along? You're more than welcome. Maybe even now, if they do have a virtual meeting with yourselves, you can have your mom next to you when you're having this conversation. You're more than welcome to do so. Thank you. Sorry, Saab, are you there?
Oh yeah, thanks, Abdul.
Okay, I'll just put you forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Brilliant, thanks, Abdul. So yeah, hi everyone, my name's Sabs from the Prince's Trust today. So the Prince's Trust, we're a partner of the Youth Promise Plus project. So we work together to support young people into employment, education, training. So yeah, just a bit about us. We're a leading UK youth charity and we work to support young people into employment, education, training. That's by creating opportunities, providing our courses, mentoring and support to help as many young people reach their potential and achieve their goals. So currently our centres are closed, so a lot of our programmes and support are virtual and online. But yeah, hopefully back in the centres soon. Yeah, and as you can see on the slide, we're set up by Prince Charles, and we work to support young people between the ages of 11 to 30. So 11 to 16 is a lot of the work we do in school, and 16 plus, as I mentioned, through our courses, programmes and support, which I'll go into a bit more detail. Next slide, please. Just to mention as well, we've got our coronavirus support hub, so you can access this via our website, and it's really great. There's a lot of resources, videos, additional support and tools, and yeah, some wellbeing and careers advice there too. No strings attached, so yeah, you can just go onto our website, take a look. Also, yeah, send to any kind of friends or family members if you think they'll benefit from that as well. Yeah, next slide. So just a bit about some of our programmes at the moment. So yeah, I'll start with our Virtual Explore programme. So these are online employability and personal development sessions. So you'll start with an induction, and then there's a session a week, so both in employability and personal development. So the employability would cover things such as CVs, cover letters, interview skills, and the personal development sessions might cover things from motivation methods, resilience and confidence. So you'd attend these group online sessions, but the great part about our virtual explore sessions is the one-to-one support. So if you've covered something in the online session and you wanted to follow up, for example, you needed to work on your CV, you've never written a cover letter before, you wanted a practice interview, things like that, you'd be able to do that in a one-to-one setting. Yeah, moving on, so we've got our Get Hired. So we recently just got one running at the moment, but the next one we've got is coming up in April. So this is, yeah, we call it Ready to Work. So if you're interested, the next one coming up is to do with sport and yeah, the outdoor sectors. So a chance for you to really work on your employability skills, get a practice interview, and yeah, they're tailored one-to-one support after the programme as well. We've got our enterprise program, so this is for young people interested in setting up their own business. You might have a strong business idea or plan, might just be keen to become self-employed. So you'd attend an information session, and then there's an online program where you'd learn everything that you need to know, usually around 2 to 3 days. And if you're still interested after that, you'd be assigned a business mentor to support you in your next steps. Also, we've got our mentoring, so this is both kind of generic mentoring through our volunteers. We'd try and match you to a mentor with kind of similar interests or with a wealth of kind of experience in a sector that you're interested in. So yeah, and you'd work on a one-to-one basis there really. Again, virtual at the moment, but yeah, really useful, and we've got some really positive feedback from our fantastic volunteers working with our young people at the moment. We've also got virtual Get Started, so we've had quite a lot running in March, but we've got one coming up called Get Started with Customer Care with ASOS. So that's a 5-day short course where you'll learn what a career in customer service is like at ASOS specifically, and you'll learn all about the customer journey. And yeah, you'll also receive some bonuses to CV help, looking at presentation skills, customer care tips and how to ace interviews as well. So yeah, very exciting upcoming program. And yeah, also on there we've got our development awards. So just to make you aware, if you've got your first job or got a job and need funding before your first paycheck, we can help with those costs. So whether that's public transport for the first month until you get your paycheck, any equipment or uniform. We just want to make sure that if you have received a job or training offer, that there is no barrier, that you can move into work. And yeah, you can share with kind of friends or family if they're aged between 16 to 30, because you don't actually need to be kind of registered with the Prince's Trust beforehand. So yeah, something to kind of yeah, keep an eye on. You can also find out more information on our website. Just to let you know as well, if you are interested in any of these programs or you just want to hear a bit more about the Prince's Trust, we do offer weekly welcome sessions. So we'll go into a bit more detail about these programs. If you've got any questions about any of them, everything will be covered there. Yeah, next slide, please. Don't know if that's everything. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah. So yeah, just to add, as I mentioned, yeah, the weekly welcome sessions are a really useful tool to start your steps with the Prince's Trust. So yeah, thank you for your time today, and I'll pass back to you, Abdul.
Thank you. Right, guys. Well, again, like I said to you, with Prince's Trust, they've got some great programs coming up. So just a few more minutes, obviously, for you to listen to some great opportunities that are coming up with digital innovators. Hiya, sorry, is it Harry, Chris?
Hi, Abdul. Yes, just me this afternoon.
Oh, it's okay.
No, thanks a lot for having us.
I'll just put you on there now. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have we got it loaded up? Sorry. Is that? Yeah, it's loaded up, isn't it? Fantastic. Thank you very much. Afternoon, everyone. I'm Harry. I'm the Engagement and Delivery Manager at Digital Innovators. I'm kind of here just to tell you about what it is that we do, why you should partake, and kind of the background of our relationship with youth opportunities and digital innovators. Now, how do we make ourselves stand out? So throughout this entire kind of presentation from various people, is what we've seen is helping you and really being able to boost various aspects of yourselves and giving you the opportunities. But how is it that we make ourselves stand out? It might be that we rely on maybe academic achievements or to do with past experiences, or we might rely on our personality to push ourselves through situations when we're in job interviews or when we are trying to do things, but we often become either very heavily reliant on a singular aspect of ourselves, or sometimes we're not reliant on it at all. However, digital innovators, what we're here to do is help to kind of develop all aspects of yourself, and we're here to kind of give you the confidence in understanding that people employ people, not pieces of paper. This is something that Mick, our CEO, consistently says, and that's that at the end of the day, people employ people. People want to see you. They want to see your personality. They want to engage with you. They don't, at the end of the day, care about a piece of paper. And we're here to give you that understanding and really shape you. And I'll kind of go into that into more detail in the next slide, if you can, please. Tara, thank you. So who are we? Well, so Digital Innovators, we're an award-winning team, specialising in supporting young people in their path to success, whether that's finding meaningful employment for themselves or finding them in meaning whatever sense of the word we want to really attach to it. So since our inception in 2016, we've really zoned in on the conversation around either digital skills shortage as a whole, by our director, then Mick, who's a former director of British Telecom, and what he really taught throughout his entire career and saw was that often a lot of employers talked about how they were missing certain quality in employees and in new recruits, and it wasn't that they were necessarily missing technical skills or they didn't have the right qualifications, but they weren't necessarily as personable, or they didn't have the right communication or confidence that we really talk about, and we'll delve into that into more detail shortly. But what was found was, why aren't young people being taught these skills that like confidence, like team building, etc. Now, what Digital Innovators are, we're a group of range of professionals, from footballers to psychologists to management professionals, and what we're here to do is to give students, our students, if you want to call them, a chance to apply, practice and reinforce skills learned throughout the course. So what happens is, as we'll come to see, is that you actually work on real life projects with partners and employers, which give you the much needed experience. If you could have the next slide, please, Tara. Thank you. So from our research over the past 5 years now and before, we found that employers look at these three key aspects when they're wanting new recruits. The first one being technical qualifications, the second one being the relevant experience in that field or in any field, and the final part being the personal and interpersonal skills. So we often see that within formal education or training that it hits the spot in terms of the technical qualifications. However, for some reason, we're kind of left on our own to find these personal, interpersonal skills that really help us get jobs, and the bits that employers really engage with. The part that a lot of employers say that gives others the edge over other people, it's that those characteristics and personal qualities that people have. So we are Digital Innovators are here to give you a combination of these three attributes and be able to pull all different sections of that together. Next slide, please, Tara. So what do we do? So once on our program, students kind of follow a structured approach to classroom-based learning and work placement. So our management team, like I said, is a range of professionals from different backgrounds, from former directors of major organizations to experts from Silicon Valley to former footballers. And what we do is we give students access to some of the most advanced leadership and project management skills that help build fantastic businesses and fantastic individuals. So we really focus on 4 key areas. in order to get you into the competitive job market, and also to try and get you a job through this process, and those being collaboration, creativity, communication, and critical thinking. So through our research and through talking to employees, these are the bits that when they're hiring is what really makes them different and pushes them through. Within this section, I think it's also worth mentioning that we are called digital innovators, so we have a real aspect and focus on allowing you to be to show your digital competence. So what we really look at in terms of developing you is your information and digital literacy, your content creation, and we also give you the actual capabilities to use these things through various software and stuff that we actually make available for yourself. But the real question is, how does this work? So it's all well and good saying that these are the various things, but what actually happens? Well, there's 4 steps to the Digital Innovators program. The first one being profile. So profile, what this really delves into is that we at Digital Innovators do a psychometric analysis of each of our new students. We then do, within that, we do one-to-one mentoring and really focusing on what it is that makes you you, and how can we actually develop you as an individual and create a clear journey for you. The next part is the prepare step, the preparation. Now, this is the part of this course, so is for the first 2 weeks in which you are actually involved in this, is that we look at your personal brand, we look at your technical proficiencies, and what we do is we develop your personal brand and leadership. We go into problem solving and creativity, and look to really develop your project management and presentation skills. And what we do throughout this entire period is actually give you real advice from leaders of these various aspects, from marketing to IT to VR, AR, 360, you name it, we cover it. The next step of that being project experience. So what we always say is that you, as young people, we're often never really given the opportunity to be able to show ourselves and to really develop these skills, especially if it's a new field that we've never experienced and we don't know how to get into, because it's maybe quite niche or it may be quite difficult to get into. So what we do is we set up projects in which you can actually, it's a real life experience in which the companies are wanting something delivered for themselves. So you go and you, as a project team, and with the help and support of various project managers within Digital Innovators, is you deliver this project. And finally, our aim is to, once you've gained the technical skills and you've also had this preparation in terms of confidence, communication, etc., is that we actually get you a placement. So we actually, the employers themselves see your worth, because you are unlike a lot of your peers and a lot of people around you, and you can actually get a placement. So whether that's through Kickstarter, whether that's through apprenticeships, or whether that's as a full-time role. So could I have the next slide, please, Tara? So this is kind of just a reiteration of the aspects of our program. So you gain 105 hours of skills training, in which this is fully funded. This is completely free for anyone that wishes to take part. You then go on to intense work experience with an employer. And the real aspect of this is exposure to a wide range of businesses. We've got current students on the projects that are doing, that last week did a presentation to the board at Morrison's, which is a fantastic exposure for themselves and things that they could never really dream of doing. And many of these people who haven't completed the program yet have already been offered full-time roles once they've completed it. So this is really fantastic exposure. And yeah, so part of the final part of this is that you can do this program whilst claiming universal credit. It is fully remote, it is fully online, but you still get all this support, and we are there to really guide you through the entire process. And there's kind of just a final few slides, Tara, just to summarize. So as you can kind of see here, these are just over the past 2 months even of students who have been in exactly your position, who have actually sat on this call and asked these questions in the Q&A, and they have continued to the program, all of these students, and landed jobs immediately afterwards through the working with the projects that they were on, or through our massive network of employers that wish to get our students because they know that they are fantastic. So what we can see there is to do with being able to increase their actual business awareness, their IT awareness, their confidence, their mindset, and also giving them the track and the goals that they need to succeed. Finally, these are the next dates for the programme. As you can see, the next cohort for yourselves will be beginning shortly. Each programme is a maximum of 24 students, which is limited to funding. So please, if you are interested, get in touch with us straight away for the next cohort that starts next month. And finally, I want to extend an invitation to everyone on this call. So if you could go on to the next slide, Tara, is that every week we have a free taster session that lasts an hour long, which you can kind of experience what we do within the programme. You can talk to a few of the coaches who will guide you through the entire process, and really get an experience, because I understand that it may be a big sign up and a big ask, but simply you can log on to this for free for an hour, sign in. It's just on Zoom, and just have a look, see how it feels before you do commit to something like this. And that is all from ourselves. There's one final slide, possibly, or maybe not, but that's it for myself. So thanks a lot, everyone. If you have any questions, please fire them over.
Thank you, Harry. As always, you guys are always welcome to come. It's such a great program, guys. Sorry, the contact details that Harry was going to mention, again, we can pass this on. We just haven't done so purely because a lot of you guys may have come through the job centre, and we just want to make sure that we just use one email address. So if you want to get in touch with Digital Innovators, you can always go on the website or get in touch with us using our email address. And seriously, it's a great program. Those are just tiny amount of stories that Harry just mentioned to you guys. So there's, they can always talk to you on a one-to-one basis as well. So yog@birmingham.gov.uk, and the website is www.birmingham.gov.uk/YPB sign up. So if you missed any of that, we also have our videos that will go on to our YouTube. So if you were to log on, or again, we will send the link out to you guys. And please, straight after this, do complete the survey for us so we can improve our services for the guys that come on in the future. Right, I'll pass you on to Sadia now for questions and answers. So Sadia, are you there?
Hi everyone, I'm Sadia. I work alongside Abdul on the YPP team. We've had some really great questions today, so thank you to everyone who's been interacting with us in the live Q&A section, but also emailing us as well. I'm conscious of the time, so I've just picked out a few that really stood out and I feel are probably the most asked or queried even. So I'm just going to go straight into it. We had somebody ask about Kickstart, and they said, is this just for anyone who's 18 to 24 in Birmingham? I just wanted to address that Kickstart is actually a national scheme, so you don't have to be from Birmingham to access it. However, the age range is up to 24 years, so, and you do have to be on universal credit to benefit from the Kickstart scheme. So I just wanted to answer that myself. I know, Abdul, you covered about face-to-face meetings and if anyone can bring someone along. Ideally, obviously, because we work with young people, we prefer to do it one-to-one, but saying that, if you do feel more comfortable having somebody with you, then that's absolutely fine as well. It's whatever works for you. The YPP project is just here to support you reach your end goal. So if that's what you want, then that's fine as well. We have a really good question actually, which I wanted to put to Better Pathways. So Letitia, if you're there, this one's for you. Someone's asked, they've tried mental health support before and they thought it was a bit of a waste of time. Why are you different?
Hiya, yeah, so I just feel like we're different because sometimes when people are delivering mental health support, they just maybe just go off a certain narrative and they just, it's not really necessarily tailored specifically to the young people. And for us, what we do is, first of all, we have to say people need to want to have this support. So, you know, there's no point in us trying to push something or someone feeling like we're forcing something onto them that isn't for them. And we kind of just go at the pace that's comfortable for each individual person. So it's never going to be the same for everybody. And we just kind of really want to understand what these barriers are and really work closely to help people to achieve their goals, because of course they're going to have these work aspirations and training aspirations. So we just really want to, you know, allow people to be the best version of themselves, to prepare them for these moments. But again, you just, you know, it's just about being in a space where you're really open to wanting to receive this support, and we'll always go the extra mile to help people to achieve what their goals are.
That's great. Thank you for that, Letitia. I hope whoever answered that question, that answer was what you wanted to hear. If not, I mean, what you could do is just drop us an email at yog@birmingham.gov.uk. We can forward on any other questions or queries that you have to the team at Better Pathways, and Letitia and her colleagues can pick that up and just speak to you directly and see how they can support you. We don't have any other questions to go through now, but obviously if anybody does think of anything and you do want to get in touch with us, then please just drop us an email. We can forward it on to anyone who's been on today on today's session. So yeah, if you just drop us an email, we'll just forward it on to the right person, and then they will be able to answer your questions. That's all, Abdul.
Thank you, Sadia. Right. Again, thank you guys for sticking around till the end. As you can see, you know, for me, the time just flew by. We had so much to cover today. If you feel as though we went through it too quickly on certain aspects of things, please, again, you can review this video on YouTube or yog@birmingham.gov.uk. Yeah, email address again, just quickly before we finish. yog@birmingham.gov.uk, or our website is www.birmingham.gov.uk/YPP sign up.